Well, I took the truck, as you know, over to drop off Think of Galaxies to train her today. Actually, I have to do a video later. This is Saturday. I'm going to do my couple of videos on the way home, I guess. To drop off Think of Galaxies, who trained very, very good this morning, by the way. I'll have a video of how everybody trained, I guess, later on. But for right now, I want to talk about what took place today. For the most part, everybody raced good. The only blemish, I come off the track and went in the room and saw that Crantini had finished back. I just thought he made a break or acted up, and he really did nothing wrong. Now, I did scope with some mucus and blood. And you may say to yourself, well, how could he bleed? He was on Lasix. Well, a little sick maybe throughout the week, just a tiny bit. Not enough to really show up. Ship all the way down there, race against horses at that caliber. Yeah, it's easy to believe. And, somebody said, oh, Crantini raced terrible. Hold on. If he had got away third and finished fifth and was, bad, yeah, he raced terrible. But when you pull a horse second over and cover drives away to the front and you back through the field immediately down the backstretch, that's not racing bad. That's something wrong with the horse. So I don't want to hear anybody complain about Crantini because his manners were in check today. Mark drove him good. The horse did everything he's supposed to do. In fact, he did everything he probably could do. It's not the end of the world. He'll bounce back, and we will get Crantini under control. Now, here to the Meadows, I was torn on coming anywhere this weekend because Ollie has 3 baseball games today in Ontario. I haven't missed virtually many of his games this year and no tournaments. And I missed this tournament to make sure that the horses were on point here and that all the horses were trained up. Tim had 37 horses to train today or something. My arm is throbbing, by the way. When this season's over, I'm going to have to get my shoulder and my elbow checked. We had a ton of them going the race bike today. And I was happy with virtually everybody here. I mean, even Victory Blue Chip, who I haven't really been a fan of. I said, he's worth turning out. I'll endorse that statement now. I think Victory Blue Chip absolutely is worth turning out. I let his hobbles way, way out today, and he did his work well. Had I trusted him more and we start like this again, I might have fanned him out in the middle of the track down the lane, and he might have made a break, or he might have come on and been third or fourth, but he really didn't race bad. 57-4, and I think that's his last start of the year right there. We're going to turn him out, let him grow up a bit, and bring him back, much like we did with Austral. But the difference between bringing Austral back was that he had like 5 or 6 wins. Bringing Victory Blue Chip back, he has 1. So that will be the plan with Victory Blue Chip. You can start to see a lot of our plans start to take place now as the season starts to wind down. It is nip and tuck for a couple of horses, and it's a cakewalk for other ones to make their prospective stake finals or consolations or like grassroots finals. Some of those stories have already been written, and some of them aren't written yet, or were written today, or are still being written today, to be honest. So Victory Blue Chip, I was happy with him today. I'll tell you a horse that I've actually become very fond of is Vaquero Blue Chip. If you guys want to go back and watch the replay, coming off the car, I had to tap him on the tail about 5 strides into the race because I wanted to make sure I get over to the front, and he almost run. But he didn't. He caught himself, come right up trotting, and pushed forward. I thought the horse raced good. I know he was beat a length, and somebody said, looked like he had a little more run on the inside. I mean, the horse did have to leave wide open from post 7. I meant to put him in the 4-hole, but it was pretty clear, just steps off the gate, that there was no room at the inn. It was either near the front or near the back, or, panhandling on the outside looking for a hole, and that just wasn't going to happen in a stake race. So I thought the horse raced very, very well. Another horse I've been waiting a long time to at least get a purse check with has been How the Hell, and I'd said to Tim, I think he likes this track. At no point in the mile, going behind the gate, in the post parade, in the warm-up, did I think at any time that he would make a break today. He was perfect behind the gate. That's what he needed, was to get away in the 4-hole and not get away, have the rail or have the outside or chase the gate. He was perfect today. That's what he needed. Now, there will be some changes coming with him. I'm going to take those back to the bike hobbles off, go to a belly band hobble, and eventually, hopefully, get back to no hobbles the way he was. But he was very sound today, did his work very well, and was very, very polite. So I was very happy with How the Hell. That's start 1 of many here at the Meadows, I believe. I left. Then I came off the track. I missed Brace for Landing. I come off, I opened the door, and Dave Palone was sitting there, and he goes, horse race good. finished second. It looked like he was going to be fourth and fought on to be second. Now, we were lucky. We had a couple of scratches from the outside. We had a couple of horses that were a little flat. Looked like he was going to be fourth coming out of the turn, but he fought on. He fought on to be second, and I thought the horse raced very, very good. You know, for a horse that not a lot of starts and still very, very immature, it's very hard not to believe that castrating him did help. So Amy and James and everybody that ever took care of him was right, and I was wrong. He is a much more manageable, but much more confident horse. Now, since being castrated and having a month off, that's 2 wins in a second. This second's very important. That was a $100,000 race today. So really happy with Braceford Landing. I'll talk to Scott a little bit more, talk to Megan. He does have options, but, you know, yes, he raced good, but are we worried about racing him in the top level? No, not yet. Try and hide him. Now, the good thing about Braceford Landing, he only has, what, 3 wins? 4 wins? 3 wins? Something like that. He's got places to go. But very, very happy with him today. Activation, I think maybe the judges were the only people on earth that thought I wasn't going to be placed up. I did get interfered with, and I saw the inquiry go up. I wasn't really in a hurry to, you're not going to run to the phone and put an objection in. Right, Tim?
Right.
Yeah. But there was an inquiry up, and I just thought it was a no-brainer that somebody would be tossed. It's hard to place him first, even though, truthfully, they did both interfere with him. But he was definitely interfered with, and you know, I understand. It looked like they were wondering who won into the 4 or the 7, the 4 or the 7. Did Anthony really get interfered with? Nobody really asked, to be honest. But I just thought that watching the head on, I'm like, oh, I'm going to, regardless how they chop it up, I'm going to be placed second. But he wasn't. He stayed third, and, you know, that's the problem. You know, we've been racing this guy in the front, and even I didn't want to race him on the front. And Brady's horse was obviously something wrong with the horse today. He was sick or something, because that's a decent horse. I saw him coming, and I said, yeah, it's pretty ballsy. I'm 3-5, but I do really want a chance to race this horse off a helmet. You know, we've talked about it. He just always seems to find an easy class, and he found another one today. But I had, you know, what am I going to do, park him? I said, I'll just let him go. I'll follow him. His horse is legit. You know, he's 6-1, but we took all the win money. We were 3-5. So truthfully speaking, he was one of the better horses in the race on paper. I let him go. Down the backstretch, he's done. There's nothing I can do. But I did get him out plenty of time, and although he did trot 28-2, it wasn't like he was lunging at them and I was twisting him around sideways to get around them. Yeah, I thought he probably should have got there, but he raced decent. 28-2 on the end of it is still 28-2. I thought the horse raced good, and yes, he wasn't placed up, and yes, I probably believe he should have been, but it's not the end of the world. The you know, the whole storyline was this horse is coming in sharp now. He was looking to pass horses. He was finishing strong on the end of the mile, and is one of the better horses in the Stallion Series. Now, if a couple of those horses stay in there that have been red hot lately, he's not. He's probably 3rd or 4th best, but nevertheless, we do have a serious contender going in, and I think he went over 50,000 today, if I'm not mistaken, that horse. 3rd might not have got him there. No, I don't think it did, but he definitely raced good today. Lonely Lakewood, I jumped over Crantini. We'll talk about him in a minute. Lonely Lakewood, I thought raced very, very good today. That was sire stake level. He had to be 3rd to get in the final, I think, and I think the 5 winning it or finishing 2nd kind of screwed everything up. But as I said to Greg, who was counting the beans, so to speak, counting the numbers in the background, there's going to be horses come up sore or not go to the consolation. And if they do, they do. They don't, they don't. Lonely Lakewood was really, we all knew this, right? You watched him train down. He was fast, but he was out of gear. You know, he was stupid. He was immature. Just didn't mature as quickly as the other horses. And it showed up, right? In his stake season. There was nothing more we could do. We trained him. We train as rigorous as anybody for the most part, and he just didn't learn as quickly as we wanted him to. But that was a big mile today. 56 and a piece was a huge jump from where he was. He might even try to 56-1, did he? Nah, probably 2. 56-2, I think he probably trotted today. I thought he was good. Coupe de Ville, Jason and I talked about it. Today was the day we were going to change her shoes and race her at the Meadows, and those shoes she did not race well in at all. In fact, the only saving grace was she ripped one off around the last turn and actually finished up her mile, but she was still chewing at herself. I don't think we can go back to flip-flops or Scioto for the Sire Stake final, but I do think we can lighten her up. You know, maybe bring her down out of her knees, change the trajectory of her whole front end. I think we're going to go the opposite way. I think we'll go to a set of aluminums tip her out a little bit, because we do have that go straight. She does brush that knee once in a while and gets out of gear. Tip her out a little bit, maybe put a shim on her, a couple of corks on the outside of that right front foot, and go to the aluminums just for a start. I know she's her feet bother her, but I think we can manage them. I know that Jason's crew and Lauren and everybody work hard, and the horse is there, and if her feet are bothering her, I believe we can manage her for a couple of starts anyway with an aluminum shoe on. But we'll see. We do need to find some time, and this might be a way to do it. So I think I'll talk to Jason and Enos, our blacksmith, and even the vet. Say, how sore are her feet? Could you give me your opinion on how sore they are? Are they manageable? So again, a conversation that'll be between Jason and Enos and myself and Dr. Latessa about Coupe de Ville. So it wasn't a total loss today. We know not going to go with the mushroom bars on. They aren't helping her. And she still tried it good. She probably tried it 56 too, right? Did you get any of the official results? Every time you went in to get one, I'd already moved on. Yeah. I'm going to wait for you to get this one.
All right.
So we're looking for Coupe de Ville. She was.
Well, I'm backing you up. Lonely Lakewood, 56 and 2, 28 and 4.
There, Lonely Lakewood, 56 and 2, 28 and 4. I was very, very happy with that Colts race today. And
Coupe de Ville, 56 and 1, 29 and 1 on the end.
56 and 1, 29 and 1 with 3 shoes hitting her knee. So Coupe de Ville probably sitting on a 54 mile if we can just get her squared away. It's easier said than done sometimes.
Activation was 28 and 2.
Yeah, I saw that. Activation 28 and 2. So tonight we still got Winter Bells. We still got Renegade Gypsy. We still got no free lunch. But truthfully speaking, for the people out there that are ready to throw eggs at Crantini, I got to stick up. You're putting me in a tough spot here because he's aggravated us for 2 years. It's not his fault. That wasn't a bad race. That was a horrible mile. The horse just wasn't functioning right. I guarantee you he's a better horse than that. That wasn't getting overmatched. That was having a bad day. And he didn't do anything wrong at the gate. He didn't do anything wrong following. Mark put him in the perfect spot. The horse just didn't fire. And I'm sure we can figure out why. No problem whatsoever. So, aside from Crantini, really, some minor spoils today, but not one horse disappointed me today. Even Victory Blue Chip I was happy with. Vaquero Blue Chip I was happy with. How the Hell finally made some money. Happy with him. Brace for Landing, ecstatic with him. Activation, raced good and closing hard on the end of it, so that was good. Lonely Lakewood raced good, and Coupe de Ville and Crantini simply did all they could today. So I wasn't disappointed with one horse today. So we're going to go get a quick bite to eat. I am in the truck. I'm going to go back up after was that them asking if Coupe de Ville was to be fed? Is that when? Yeah, and you said to feed her, right?
Yeah.
So after Coupe de Ville is done eating, it'll be somewhere around 6:30, and I'll head out back to Northfield with her tonight. But excited about the week ahead. I will give you guys I will do a video in a few minutes just talking about the horses that we have that we trained today. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna have to do that before we win. You guys go ahead and just order me a drink because I got to do this video. I need the Wi-Fi in there. I'm almost to my end of my Wi-Fi for the month, literally.
See you in there.
Yeah, I'll be in just a minute. So with that, I'll let you guys go. I'll be back in a second. I want to talk about how the horse is trained and some updates on some horses that we have in training right now. I'll be back in just a second. Take care.